What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. Join us now as we look at AEW holding its New Year Smash special, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including more details on WWE Star's arrest, Sasha Banks drops hints about a WWE return, Gunther is now a dad, a top WWE Star Re-Signs with WWE, an ex-WWE Stars talks possible return, Scotty to Hotty In AEW, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new website, Wrestlelamia.com. As always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, Continental Classic Finals deliver. The Continental Classic has lived up to the hype, providing fans with some exciting matchups that were fueled to the quest to become AEW's inaugural Continental Classic champion. While the points-based system was initially confusing, AEW explained things well and used the point system to create suspense about who will compete for the title this Saturday. Last night's triple threat match between Moxley, Swerve Strickland and Jay White was phenomenal, as was Kingston's bout against Bryan Danielson. The story of Kingston coming from behind in the tournament was an effective way to build Kingston's reputation as a wrestler who refuses to quit. AEW had an instant classic waiting for Saturday when Kingston steps into the ring against Jon Moxley. Kingston and Moxley's history and their obsession with winning should make this a must-see finale for the tournament. Number 2, AEW finally takes the tag titles off MJF and Cole. A kudos to AEW for finally taking the Ring of Honor tag team titles off MJF and Adam Cole. While the dynamic duo could have added some excitement to Ring of Honor's tag division, that option expired as soon as it became clear that Adam Cole's injury would keep him out of action for months. AEW should have vacated the titles months ago because of the storyline of MJF trying to hold them in Cole's absence never turned into anything worthwhile. Hopefully the new champions, whose identities remain a mystery, can bring some excitement back to the belt. Number 3, Samoa Joe makes a deal with the devil. Why, Joe, why? Well, the answer is simple. Joe wants the AEW World Championship and he's not afraid to cut corners to get an advantage. His apparent partnership with the Devil's minions just added another layer to the Devil mystery, and it should settle the question of whether the Devil is MJF, and made this Saturday's AEW World title match even more interesting as MJF goes into it with an injured shoulder. Number 4, Swerve Strickland babyface turn. Is he turning babyface? While last night's Dynamite should be taken as proof positive, Swerve's decision to wrestle Keith Lee at World's End despite Prince Nana's protests suggests Strickland may realize that aligning himself with Nana and company isn't the surefire route to success he originally envisioned. Adam Copeland goes bananas. Last night's sit-down interview between Christian and Adam Copeland went as well as you'd expect for two best friends turned bitter enemies. The Rated R superstar skipped the preliminaries of a sit-down interview and got right down to business, attacking Christian and sending a message to the TNT champion that he's in for the beating of a lifetime come Saturday, and the return of Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara is back and even better, and it looks like he's reunited with Chris Jericho. As fans and wrestling pundits pointed out, AEW found itself in a tough situation with Sammy's return, as fans were likely to boo him after a long absence, not to mention his new status as a dad, and more likely to cheer him. AEW didn't try to force things by keeping Guevara as a heel and went with a plausible storyline for him turning babyface. But that was good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Sammy Guevara's 208th turn. As good as it was to see Sammy Guevara back in the ring, the AEW Galaxy's collective heads must be spinning from trying to calculate how many times the Spanish God has turned from heel to babyface and vice versa. He deserves his reputation as one of AEW's 4 pillars, but his frequent turns are turning him into AEW's version of the Big Show, whose frequent turns became the stuff of legend in the WWE. AEW needs to freeze any turns by Guevara for at least 2 years so they can focus on compelling storylines instead of hotshot booking. And the women's division booking is a mess. Who writes this stuff? AEW's women's division not only featured bad wrestling, but it features bad writing. Whether it's turns that make no sense of Sky Blue, Toni Storm's date stamp gimmick that expired months ago, or the tension between Saraya and Ruby Soho that nobody cares about at this point, AEW is doubling down on making its women's division channel-changing television. Now, there was nothing downright ugly last night, but AEW built up World's End by setting up the finals for the Continental Classic, adding more matches and showing just how low Samoa Joe would go to winning the AEW World Championship. What did you guys think of Dynamite last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Now our first story looks at more information on the WWE Superstar's recent arrest. On top of today's news is the release of the police report for WWE Superstar Liv Morgan's recent arrest. PW Insider obtained a copy of the report, and what follows are an excerpt from the document. The report states why Morgan was pulled over by the law enforcement officer, as on 14th December 2023 at approximately 6:26 p.m, Sergeant Otero observed a yellow Jeep bearing Florida tag deleted by PW Insider traveling west on CR 476 Bushnell, Florida, within Sumter County. The vehicle could not remain in the lane it was traveling. Sergeant Otero observed the vehicle to cross over the yellow and white lines on the roadway several times. He then conducted a stop on the vehicle to ensure the driver wasn't having any health issues. He explained that he was approached the vehicle, he immediately smelled the odor of marijuana coming from the vehicle. The report goes on to explain that Morgan was detained in the officer's patrol car and that the officer searched the vehicle. A search was done of the vehicle, and in a pink fuzz bag located on the back seat within arm's reach of the defendant are located a small clear plastic bag containing a green leafy substance. Continue with the search of the vehicle, located a vape pen within the center of the console of the vehicle that contained an oil-like substance. I conducted a presumptive field test on the green leafy substance and the oil-like substance in the vape pen, which yielded a positive result for marijuana. One of the questions surrounding the case is whether the vape pen found in Morgan's vehicle belonged to her. Morgan comments in the report furthers the narrative that the vape pen did not even belong to her. I read the defendant's Miranda warning. Post-Miranda, the defendant stated that the greeny leaf substance of marijuana was hers and all the items inside the vehicle were hers. The defendant stated that she transports a lot of people in her vehicle, so she didn't know where the vape pen came from. The defendant stated that she smokes marijuana but does not vape. The defendant stated that she does not have a medical marijuana card, and due to the vape pen and green leafy substance all testing positive in marijuana, the defendant was placed under arrest. Now, as we noted in a previous report on Morgan's arrest, the case is only beginning, and it may be some time before it's resolved. Next up, Sasha Banks drops hint about a WWE return. Now, is Mercedes Money, aka former superstar Sasha Banks, returning to WWE? Fans don't know what's next for Mercedes, but a recent social media post should have fans buzzing as they speculate whether the boss could return at the Royal Rumble. Wrestling News commented on an Instagram post from Money saying, the photo features the former Sasha Banks standing outside the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. WWE notably held a house show at this arena on Wednesday, December 27th. She remains one of wrestling's top free agents, and her fans are eager to see what's next for her now that she appears to have recovered from an ankle injury. Although she has said she doesn't want to be locked down to a long-term contract, it's possible the WWE made her an offer she couldn't refuse, or the company was willing to sign her a shorter deal than usual. But then again, Mercedes may be trolling the fans and she has no intent of returning to WWE. But what do you think's next for her? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, a top WWE star re-signs with WWE. A PW Insider is reporting that Zelina Vega has come to terms with WWE and signed a new multi-year deal with the company. Currently, it's unknown how long that deal is for. Next up, a top AEW star set to leave. Now it seems that Shawn Spears is no longer said to be All Elite. Fightful Selectors reported on their Patreon site, we're told that Spears became a free agent on January 1st and the departure was amicable between he and All Elite Wrestling. Spears confirmed the report by saying, what a wonderful time it's been. Thank you AEW for allowing me to be there from the ground level. It's been a fantastic 5 years of growth and personal development. This is a personal choice and one that is best for me and my family at this time. Thank you all, staff and talent alike, for all the memories. 10. Do you think Shawn Spears is going to come to WWE? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Vince McMahon misses CM Punk's return match. The WWE's 26/7 Madison Square Garden show was a star-studded spectacular that reportedly broke box office records for a non-televised event. However, what did Vince McMahon think of the show that saw CM Punk's first WWE match since 2014? Well, it turns out Vince wasn't even there, as Fightful Select recently reported. For those asking, Vince McMahon was not at MSG for the WWE house show. By most reports, Vince McMahon no longer shows up for live events or TV tapings. While MSG has historically been considered a big event, Vince's absence is a reminder of how he's no longer involved in day-to-day operations on WWE's creative side. However, that doesn't mean Vince is busy catching up on TV shows and movies he's missed during the last 40 years running the WWE, as McMahon is reportedly still busy on the business side of WWE. Next up, Gunther is now a dad. A big congratulations to WWE superstar Gunther and his wife Ginny as a couple celebrated the birth of their child. The ring general took to X to share the good news, saying, "This morning our son entered the world. What a blessing. And we send our best wishes to the new parents." Next up, an ex-WWE star talks possible return to WWE. A recently released WWE personality Mackenzie Mitchell hasn't ruled out a WWE return. The former NXT interviewer recently spoke with Chris Van Vliet about a release and whether she'd come back to WWE. Never say never. I know that people say that and it's kinda cliche, but it's true. I didn't have my goodbye in WWE. I didn't get to choose to leave, and that's where I was saying I think some people need to take a break. I didn't get that opportunity to say, I'm ready to take a break. I was ready to keep going to WrestleMania and do the Royal Rumble and all of those things. So it was really awesome to hear Shawn Michaels say those things, never say never. Mackenzie Mitchell fans know she has a lot going on for herself, and while success is never guaranteed, her work ethic is likely that we haven't heard the last from her. What do you think the future holds for her? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Shotzi makes an impression, well, a big impression in the ring. Our current SmackDown superstar Shotzi Blackheart continues to make an impression wherever she wrestles, but nothing quite like what she did at a recent live event in Baltimore. Shotzi uploaded a picture showing her makeup leaving an impression on the mat apron that has to be seen to be believed. What do you guys think of this incredible image? Let us know in the comments down below. And finally, Scotty to Hotty in AEW. And last but not least, fans wondering how AEW was able to use Scotty to Hotty's entrance music when he competed on Dynamite may be surprised to learn that this is just one piece of music AEW now has the rights to. Fightful Select is reporting that those we spoke to said that it was a part of a music library that AEW licensed to get access to the Hardy Boys theme. Hardcore and Crash Holly's original theme was also included in that. Scotty, who currently works as a coach in AEW, made his in-ring debut for AEW during a dark match on last night's Dynamite. Scotty teamed with the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass to defeat the Guns at Matt Menard and Jake Hager. But there you have it, folks, our look at Dynamite as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.